Hi, Beck Mack here for Pops Art, and I'm at QAGOMA for the historical moment of the Reconciliation Action Plan, which was launched today, and one of the most important parts of it, in so many ways, because hello, looking fabulous, but also created the cover, but also did a really beautiful speech today, is Tony Albert. How are you, Tony?
I'm very well, thank you so much for having me.
It's so good that you're here, and the thing that really resonated with me is that you said equality is about acceptance. Can you talk to that in relationship to the rap? Like, what does that really mean to you?
Though equality is such an interesting and big word, and to think in our mind, equal. It's like this 50-50 thing, but actually equality is the acceptance of difference, is what I always say. And basically that is a very simple way I like to kind of analyze it. If we had $1 to split, you would think it's 50-50. That's what we think of equality. But does the fact that you're a female and I'm a male change that dynamic? Does our educational background change that dynamic? Does our financial system change our dynamic? And in the thing of reconciliation, does the color of our skin change that dynamic? And the answer is absolutely. So that breakdown becomes different, but that difference makes things equal. And that is what we need to reprogram our brain when we think about the idea of equality and what that means.
And within the rap program, what do you see as the key actions that will bring this equity?
I think it's within these big institutions, and as I said in my speech, not in what the expectation of Indigenous people in entering a space like this, but actually what is the institution going to do to reflect Indigenous values and beliefs. And it's, again, that whole psychological change in the way in which our society works, in particular to that in working with people, First Nation people, people that live remote and regionally, people that have looked after and cared for this country for 60,000 years, actually should be the pinnacle of those conversations. They're the people we need to go to speak about on a number of issues which are so relevant and vital right now. So not only just like in reconciliation, in climate action, in social and political issues, that we've got the best knowledge holders here, and they are the most ignored voices in our society. So, this is a starting point for that conversation, and that is, truly, truly important.
Yeah. And this is a starting point for the contemporary art world, but also for Queensland and also for Australia in a way that we can go about implementing and building those things that you're talking about, equality and First Nations first in the conversation around environment, climate, and of course contemporary art. What would you like to see as a major impact that this rap could have on the rest of the nation?
Wow. Well, there's so many, really. I think the language is such an important vernacular. The way in which we refer to landmarks and different points, going back to an Indigenous language, I think would make a huge impact on the way in which we think and consider sense of space and place. Indigenous philosophy should be embedded into all of us. The way in which we care for the land, the way in which, there's such a sense of ownership, and I think we've got to eliminate that idea and actually be part of being rather than owning. So I think there's really small things we can do, but then really big things, like let's start to rename things. Let's start to, well, not rename, go back to original names of things. Let's get rid of this idea of someone owning or being named after someone, but bring it back to a sense of space and place and everyone really feeling like they belong. It's an Indigenous philosophy, and so many people just don't feel like they're part of something. And really, we all belong, and we just need to reprogram our mind to think that way. I think for our own mental health, it's a really, really good thing to do.
Really powerful stuff. And just finally, you've got a long, enduring, incredible, diverse history with this institution.
I love that they still say like a really young artist. I'm like, oh God, I'll take it. But yeah,
You look fantastic.
that's very kind.
But so standing here now, like from 20 years ago, how does that feel in regards to where you are as an artist, a person, and also the rap?
I think for me, it's just the confidence that there's a sense that I do belong here. Our people do belong here. And I think when I started, there was an apprehensive nature. And I like to say to people all the time, particularly, my brothers and sisters in the Indigenous community, we own all that work in there. well, a whole community owns it, but there is a detachment, and we've got to walk into these places like they are extensions of our living room. We need to feel comfortable. We need to know that, you know, we actually did buy that work in there. You know, that's technically what has happened. So again, bringing it back to that sense of ownership, collaboration, being together, is my big thing. I think I feel now from 20 years ago. It's just that shyness and that detachment, which I feel really proud to be here. To be proud to be a figure that can do things like this, to be invited here to speak. It's really
A leader.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, you are. And we need more great cultural leaders. So congratulations. Fantastic. And congratulations, GOMA.
Congratulations, GOMA. Absolutely.
Great.